In order to add textures and colors and fabric patterns to your croquis, go ahead and visit pixar.com/e. And what you're going to do is you're going to go to Open Image, and you're going to navigate to the croquis that you have scanned in, and it needs to be either a JPEG or a PNG. It's probably not going to work if it's a PDF. So once you have that selected, go ahead and hit Open. You'll see that these were scanned in by Ms. Pfister. If you get something like this, go ahead and choose full. If you go to max, it's probably going to be a little bit too big. It's going to slow down your computer. If you want super high resolution, you can keep it here, but this sort of middle option is probably fine. Go ahead, click apply, and you'll see that we get this toolbar that sort of, or this piece of software that sort of looks like Photoshop. And on the right-hand side in layers, you can see that is layer number 1. We don't want to do anything to layer number 1. What we want to do is we want to go ahead and we want to add in layers on top, and we're going to change something called the blend mode. So for example, I'm going to go to Google and I'm going to do an image search for denim, and I'm going to right click and I'm going to copy the image. I could also save the image if I wanted to, but I'm just going to copy the image, and then I'm going to, in here, go to edit, paste, or Control or Command V. I'm going to hit OK if I get that. So you can see I got the second layer with this denim pattern showing. And this is going to allow me to rotate it right here. And I'm going to pretend like this is a denim top. Now I know that that's probably an unfashionable choice, but we're just demonstrating the technique here. So I'm going to place that here. I can resize it. I'm using this selection and arrange tool to do so. I can move it around. I can resize it. I can rotate it here, all with sort of the click and drag of my mouse. Now if I use my scroll wheel, I can zoom in over here. I also see that there's a pan tool. I can also press the space bar. It allows me to sort of move, and I can also navigate in the window, in this navigate window here. Now the trick that we're going to use is click on these 3 dots, and we are going to change the blend mode from none to multiply. So that's basically going to allow the black to creep through. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take the cutout tool, and we're going to cut out the part of the denim that we don't want. And I'm going to use the draw cutout tool, and basically what it does is it allows me to remove from the cutout. And so it'll come in as red to begin with, like so. And the reason that this is different than an eraser tool is I can add to cutout. If I've gone too far, I can draw that back in. And so this is sort of like a forgiving eraser tool. And so basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to increase my brush size and take away everything on the outside just really quickly. And you can be a little bit more fine-tuned as you go. But basically we're just going to cut out the portion of the picture that we don't want. If the brush edge is too soft, we can increase the hardness. And so we can increase the hardness by decreasing the softness. And we'll just come in here and we're going to erase, and we want to use the lines of our croquis as sort of our guide, and just get rid of everything that you don't want. Now I'm going to fast forward until the end where this is complete, and we are done. Okay, so if you make a mistake, you can press Control Z or Command Z if you're on a Mac. You also go to Edit Undo, so you can see if I undo right there, there's that little piece right here that I'm going to get rid of. So now I have sort of done this top layer right here. If you just want to do a solid color, you can add a new layer that is empty, and then you could go ahead and you could take your paintbrush, and then you could go ahead and you can just fill in the area that you want to fill in. So I'm going for this Glenbrook South theme, and you're like, well, that doesn't really look like you're filling it in. You're just sort of painting on top of it. Again, we'll come here, and we're going to change our blend mode to multiply. I will again fast forward until I get to the end of this portion, as you see right here. Okay, and I'm mostly done. Now, I sort of intentionally went outside the lines because I want to point out that if you want to use the same technique of using cutout, you can, but since this is a solid color, I can always just grab my paintbrush tool again, and so I'm actually just going to use the eraser tool here, which, there we go, it's a little bit hard to see. I can sort of clean up the edges here along the way. And again, you can use your scroll wheel. I highly recommend using a mouse. It'll make it easier to see. One thing's a little bit tricky is some of the tools, it's a white tool, so you can't really see it on the white background. It's sort of just a limitation of this tool that we're using, but for the most part it should be suitable for the activity that you are doing. Again, right here, grab my paintbrush tool, and I can add it back. Now the one thing that you need to make sure of is that you are working on the correct layer. Make sure that you don't accidentally start painting on the denim layer. So let's pretend that that's all well and good and we're happy with it as it looks. You can then go ahead and save it in two ways. We're going to save it, one, as a PXD. That's going to allow you to save it with the layers preserved, and we'll just go ahead and save it anywhere on your computer that you want, like so. Now, Pixlr offers this for free because sometimes they show you ads, so you might get an ad that shows up right there. But then we're going to save it again, file save as, or not save as, file save as a JPG. This is going to be a file type that you can use in projects and presentations in your Google Slides, on Instagram. And let's go ahead and we'll save it, and you'll see that it's now as a croquis.jpg. We'll go ahead and hit save, and that's it.